Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be trying out more of the Black Opal line. So I have tried out a couple of things here on my channel in the past with Black Opal, but today I noticed that they had some more products in Walmart, and that wasn't today. That was probably like 2 weeks ago when I picked up these products. If you guys want to see me test it out in my first impressions, then please stay tuned. First off, I'm going to start off with the e.l.f. Beautifully Bare, why is that a mouthful to say? Beautifully Bare Luminous Matte Makeup Primer with Acai Berry. It says lit from within. So this is just what it looks like. And it's actually pretty big size. Like it's almost 1 fluid ounce. So for an e.l.f. product, that's really inexpensive for a lot of products. So this is just what it looks like outside of the packaging. It's a really nice cap at the bottom. It's a clear cap, so that's really nice. And it's just a squeeze tube, so I'm gonna just squeeze a little bit of it on my hands. Ooh, I probably should have shaken it up first because it came out really runny and really liquidy. So this is what it looks like on the hands, if you guys can see that. It is really oily. And I'm not used to primers feeling this loose and oily, but we're gonna see how it feels. So it feels like I'm putting Vaseline on my face. Like that's literally what it feels like. And my face looks really oily now. Like it was already oily, but this really didn't help it. And it just feels really slippery. Like it feels exactly how it would feel if you put Vaseline on your face. I promise. Except Vaseline is a little bit thicker in consistency, but if you were to rub it and put it on your face, like if it was like a little bit thinner, I feel like it would feel. It smells like Vaseline too, so I don't know. I feel like my face looks really oily. What do you guys think? Like, and my hands feel like slippery, like just like how it feels if you were to apply an oil. That's what it feels like. So not exactly sure about this. I'm trying out the Black Opal True Color Pore Perfecting Liquid Foundation, and this is in the shade 460 Beautiful Bronze. It says it is a light to medium coverage, so I clearly did not see that. Helps minimize the appearance of enlarged pores, controls excess oil, and renews skin's natural radiance, suitable for all skin types, including sensitive. So this is what the packaging looks like. I think this is kind of similar to their standard True Color packaging. I may be wrong. So since this is a light to medium coverage foundation, I figured I would use a less dense brush. So I'm using my e.l.f. brush, one of my e.l.f. Like complexion brushes, to put this all over my face. Color might be a tad bit too light for me, but we'll make it work. And so far, this is looking, I would say, more medium coverage than light, because I've tried some light coverage foundations and this is looking a little bit thicker. Like even when it came out of the bottle, it was thicker. So this seems like you could almost build this up to full coverage. So I figured I would apply one side with the brush and then do one side with my beauty blender, because I've seen other people here on YouTube do that, and I think it gives a more accurate representation of just different methods of applying the foundation, just in case you're someone who likes to use a beauty blender or someone who likes to use a foundation. I am noticing that it does dry pretty quickly, so you do have to blend it out pretty quickly. Like right now, I'm not moving too much product around, so it does dry pretty quickly, but I am really loving it so far. Like I feel like it did give a little bit of a natural radiance, and that could be mixing with the primer. I am seeing just a little bit of area here, which could be a little bit more covered, but that's nothing too crazy. But I'm actually really liking the coverage of this. It's not too thick, and then it's not too light. So I'm surprised they actually said light to medium coverage. I would have said like a more just lightweight medium coverage. And if you notice, I usually do not apply foundations with my beauty blender, just because I don't know what it is, but usually when I apply foundation with a beauty blender, it just does not turn out right. I don't know if it's just because it's a full coverage foundation, so it's like really thick, and not lightweight at all. So I don't know. I just figured that this, since it was more lightweight, it may be perfect for applying with a damp beauty blender versus a brush. And it looks like it spread out really nicely. Like, this is one of the better foundations I've applied with this beauty blender. I'm definitely a lot more shiny than what I normally like to be. So which side do you guys prefer? So this is the beauty blender side, and then this is the foundation brush side. So I don't know, I'm kind of liking the beauty blender side. Like, I feel like it blended out really well and seamlessly to the point where I'm just like, I really want to use a beauty blender more, but I know that I usually don't like it with full coverage foundations. The brush, like I said, I feel like the brush could did better right in here, but the beauty blender just added like a nice airbrush finish. I think it did really nicely. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with concealer now. So the concealer is the Black Opal Even True Conceal and Brighten Under Eye Concealer, and I don't think this was new because this has the same logo on it that the powder did, so it's new to me. So this is my first time trying it out. It's a lightweight oil-free concealer. It helps to brighten and conceal under eye dark circles, restoring skin's even tone complexion. Very unique. It's like a roller ball. It's not a regular like squeeze tube or a applicator. It's a roller ball. That is really cool. So it says, press down on roller ball applicator and lightly squeeze product through tube. Roll product under eyes, concealing dark circles. So I'm gonna do exactly that. This feels so weird. It's like really cold. Nothing's coming out. I feel like I'm just wiping away. And I don't want it to like squirt out at me. Am I doing something wrong? Because I really can't get it to like come out. I can only get it to come out like that much. So I'm just gonna kind of roll it underneath my eye. Since it's lightweight, I'm not gonna apply too much because I can always go back in and apply it. Yeah, when I squeeze it, it doesn't come out. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or if I just got a defective one. So I'm just blend this in. Definitely light coverage. Definitely what I'm seeing so far. Just because I can see pretty much all of my under eye darkness peeking through, but it does blend out really nicely. So I think it's creasing really badly and it's very light coverage. But if you're someone who doesn't have like under eye circles or you don't have a lot to conceal, I definitely would recommend it because it seemed like it was a really nice concealer. I think the concept is really great. So to set that concealer up underneath my eyes, I'm going to use the Black Opal Deluxe Finishing Powder, and I have had this for quite some time now, so this is not a new product, but I figured since I was using Black Opal that I would just, you know, stick this in. So I'm going to just use this pretty much everywhere because I don't have a primer and I'd rather not use the concealer since it is kind of watery. This powder is really good, especially at the drugstore. It's a really good powder for darker skin tones at the drugstore. I think the look is coming together. What do you guys think? I think it's coming together quite nicely. I think everything has kind of blended in really nicely. I'm going to go ahead and move on now to the setting powder. I'm going to go ahead and set my face and then do my eyes. But this is the Black Opal True Color Ultra Matte Foundation Powder, and I got the shade 700 Deep. So this is what it looks like. It reminds me a lot of the Maybelline Fit Me packaging because it has the mirror up underneath here. This looks like it may have been a tad bit too dark. Oh yeah, definitely a little bit too dark. And I may have applied just a tad bit too much as well. I could have went a shade up in this powder and I think I would have been perfectly fine, but I think we'll be okay. So I think everything turned out really nicely so far. So I'm going to move on to the eyes now. I am going to be using the Wet n Wild Studio eyeshadow palette, and that's just the name of the colors you get. So this palette did not have a great matte shadow at all. It didn't have a transition shadow, so I had to go in with something else by NYX just as a transition shade. But I'm going to start off by going in with this deep purple shadow, and I'm going to be putting this in the outer V of my eye. So this purple shadow is not as pigmented as I would have liked it to be. It is showing up on my lid, but it's kind of showing up kind of black, and then it's just not, I feel like I have to use quite a bit of it to get it to kind of come off the brush. So, and it kind of, I don't know, it seems like it kind of applied kind of sloppily. So now I'm just gonna blend out the top corners of the shadow, and I'm not really feeling this color. I don't know if it's just this color or if it's just all the, I guess, formula of the shadows. They just seem kind of blotchy almost. Like, I don't know what it is. It's not really blending out real well either. I don't know. So I'm gonna go in with the color right beside it and just apply that on my lid. This color is really nice and pigmented and pretty. So that applied really nicely. I really like this color. So maybe it was just the dark shadows. Sometimes it's really hard to get dark shadows right, especially when you don't apply like a primer or something. So that could have been on me. I still am noticing that I do have to use quite a bit of product though, but there's no fallout with these shadows. Like, I put a lot of product on my brush and I really haven't gotten any fallout, so that's really nice as well. Okay guys, so I put on some lashes and a little bit of mascara to help bring the look together. These lashes are a little bit more dramatic than what I thought that they would be, so just ignore that. But now to finish off the look, I am going to be trying out some of the Makeup Revolution lip kit, and this was in the shade Noble. So I picked up the lip liner. The lip kit came with the lip liner and the liquid lip. So the liquid lip is, this is what it looks like. It's just really pinky on the packaging, and then this is just what the lip liner looks like. The lip liner was really creamy when I swatched it, so that's super duper creamy. So, however, I'm probably gonna have to put another lippy on top of this because this looks like it's just gonna be a little bit too light for my skin tone, but we're going to go ahead and try it out. I love the way this lip pencil just glides on. This would be a favorite if it was in a darker color. This would look good with like a brown lip liner, like maybe. So just to get rid of this duck lip vibe that I got going on, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Mega Last Liquid Catsuit Matte Lipstick. And this is in the shade Gimme Mocha. So hopefully this one will be a little bit darker. Okay. So clearly a bust. But I want to keep this in the video because I want you guys to know how much packaging can fool you sometimes. Okay guys, so I am back with the finished look. So as you can see, I had to cancel that lip because it was over and I couldn't get anything to fix it, so it was over. And I also had to cancel those eyelashes because they were not the business. I don't know what was going on, and then I had glue, and then I was like, okay, well, I don't have time to clean them. So I did not like the lip kit. So needless to say, that's not my color. I can probably make it work with a darker lip liner. I could probably make it work, but yeah, just on its own, it's not my color. For the foundation though, I am actually really in love with this foundation. I think it turned out amazingly on my skin. I think it looks great. I think it just enhances what I already have going on, and it does give a nice natural radiant glow, I think. And it's not something that I feel like, I don't even feel it on my skin. It feels like my skin when I touch my face, and I really like that feeling of I'm not feeling like foundation on my skin. For the concealer, I'm not really a fan of the concealer, and it didn't really provide a great amount of coverage for me. So Not too happy about this. Would I use it? Yeah, probably just to get my money's worth, but I don't really recommend it unless you really, really like light coverage concealers. So as for this makeup powder, I don't really consider it a great ultra matte foundation powder just because I applied it maybe about 15-20 minutes ago and I am already oily or shiny in my T-zone area. So I'm not exactly sure if I hit those areas really well, but I know I applied quite a bit on my cheekbone area. So I'm not exactly sure about it, but I will try it out again and just let you guys know something down in the down bar, the description bar. Definitely check that out because I probably will have some updates on this powder and on some of the other products as well. It was a tad bit too dark, so if I do like it, I probably will go a shade up if they have it, and I will definitely be talking about it again if I do like it. So the primer is a no for me. I did not like this primer by e.l.f. I don't know if it was a new formula that they were trying. I thought that the packaging was great. I do like how the packaging had this nice clear cap and it just looks really nice, but I don't like the oily feel that it left, like the residue feeling that it left on my skin and on my hands. I don't like the smell. It just makes me feel like I'm putting like Vaseline or some type of grease on my face. And I also think that it is a factor in why I am just a tad bit oily. And it said that this was a luminous matte. I don't know exactly what that means, but I would imagine it to be a little bit more matte than this. So I don't recommend that primer unless you are someone who is dry. Then that actually may work really well for you because it is more of a oily consistency. So it may work well for you if you are a dry person. So last but not least is the Wet n Wild eyeshadow palette. And I have to say, while these colors swatched pretty nicely, I'm not really a fan of this palette. I don't know, maybe the gold shades are a little bit better, but I feel like these shadows were a little bit hard to blend out and they weren't as pigmented on my skin tone as I thought they would be. Some of the more vibrant colors do show up really nicely. I think that this purple shade that I applied on my lids did show up really nicely. However, it's just the darker shade was a little bit harder to blend out. So you know, it is inexpensive. You do get quite a few shades in here and it may be something that you could just pop in your bag and take for travel, but you might not get the best quality eyeshadows that you could get. So just keep that in mind. So that is it for this video. This one was not so great. I feel like I didn't like a whole lot of the products, but that's what these videos are about. So you guys can see my first impressions and how I feel about these products. And these are my honest opinions, guys. We'll always give you an honest review and honest opinion of any product and any brand. So if you guys have any products that you want me to try out or any foundations, anything that you want me to try out, just let me know down in the comment section below because I will try that out for you guys. I am just going out to the stores, just buying random stuff because I see it and I like it. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you're not and please thumbs up this video. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.